Okay, welcome back to another episode of Sorcery. Let's see, I'm here. You rise early, dismiss the attentions of the householder, and head out into the street. With a few minutes of walking, you are out of Dumpus and back on the road. After another hour or so, the way branches, with one path heading up into the hills, and the other turning downhill alongside of a barren, stony ridge. Is that a village you could make out on top of the hill? It seems like a lonely place for it. Seems like another dead. Well, I guess both lead. This looks more boring, so let's go into the village. The gentle upward slope becomes a steep climb, and you are forced to rest several times. So far, you've been walking through the foothills, and now the journey will become more serious. When you finally reach the summit, you can look out over the plateau you have crested. You can see the path runs through the small settlement of crudely fashioned huts. These villagers are out. There are villagers out in the street talking and working. It seems like a happy, bustling place, despite the filth in the streets and the barren surroundings. You stay at your vantage point and watch a while longer to see if things change. After a while, you begin to notice something strange about the way the people in the village are moving. First, you notice one is limping, then another. Then you realize all the shuffling as they move. Some use sticks. One is even crawling. You stay hidden and watch for a while longer. After a while, you realize what is happening. Whatever is happening in this town, it is desperate. There is no laughter or joy. There is no trade or commerce. The women do not walk about, and the men do not watch them. It is like a prison camp. Guess we might be able to help them. Let's go visit. These people are in need of a savior. You may not be that man, but you can try. You approach, arms open, to show you are not a threat. But the message is not understood. The villagers see you and panic. They begin to scurry inside their huts, as if you were an army and not a lone traveler. Their bodies are thin and malnourished, and as they disappear through the doors, you notice some are missing limbs. You knock on the door of one of the nearest huts. There is no reply. Should we go to enter the hut or another hut? You push your way inside. You find the place to be an impoverished hovel. The hut has no furniture. A small fire burns in the middle of the floor, and the far wall, an ill-looking family is huddling together. The woman lifts her shaking hand as if to hold you back. You put out your hand to greet the man. He shuffles over nervously and grasps it with a feeble strength. Are you magical, stranger? Are you not afraid of us? Afraid? Why? Why? He replies. Don't you know? We have the plague in this village. You spring back from him, but it's too late. You can feel the infection on the palm of your hand like a curse. Why didn't you warn me? The man looks at you with wide, sorrowful eyes. I dared to hope, he whispers. You take another back in fear and regret. You have but a few days. Fear overtakes you, and you race out the door and do not stop running until you are clear of the accursed village. Well, that was a bad encounter. Use our magic rewind button. See if we can help him in a different way. Let's try to go to another hut. You approach the next hut. From inside you hear the murmur of voices, so you enter. The hovel is tiny and foul, with no furnishings of any kind. A small fire burns in the middle of the floor, and by the far wall, a family of 3 cowers from you, the woman lifting a shaking hand as if to hold you back. I don't know if there's anything I can do. I can look at the spells. Maybe there's like a heal spell or something. Let's see. Let's see, Doc maybe. Heal disease. You pour the blimberry juice out into your palm and cast your spell across it. Then you cast the liquid onto the terrified villagers. At first the potion seems to burn them, but then you realize it is the peeling skin, boils, and warts that they're burning away. The man is shivering as though he's been cold for days, and through chattering of teeth he declares, "You have cured us. We have suffered the plague." The plague? So that is what afflicts this village? The man nods. We are no village in truth. A few of us were cast out of Britannia. I can't say these words. Britannia. A few from Dumpus. A few other places. They force us here with flaming torches to live or die. He looks at his wife, who is weeping. Most do not live, he finishes. How many are there? 30, perhaps. We were 100 once, please. He steps forward, hands outstretched. You have saved us. You can save the others. Yeah, if I got like a bunch of blueberry juices. Blimberry. I cannot. You shake your head. Then show the empty potion bottle. They understand. What should we do? You can save them now. Simply go to them and touch them. The effect will be slower, but they will be healed. Is that actually true? Just tricking them. The 3 smile with such radiant joy that almost breaks your heart. They rush out from the hut. The woman pauses, only to kiss you on the cheek. Of course, in a few hours, they will have saved no one, not even themselves. But the magic wears off in a few hours. They will soon be infected once more. You leave them quickly. That was really a dick move. Let's rewind that. Like, it doesn't tell you you're going to trick them. Let's see. I don't know if I can really get anything out of these people. Other than losing my blimberry juice. Understand this. You must leave immediately. The woman is looking at her hands. Her skin is soft once more and richly brown. But we are blessed. The magic will wear off in a few hours. You must leave before then, or you will become ill once more. They do not hesitate. Taking nothing, they race back along the path of Dumpus. You quickly head the other way. From across the plateau, you see the man pause, shouting something to you. Beware the Black Lotus. Then he's gone. Well, that was pretty dumb. How about I don't bother helping them because they got nothing for me. I'm going to go down this way. You follow a meandering path around the side of the hill for the most of the morning. It is difficult to see way ahead through the tree line, but you trust to the course, and eventually the path bursts into the narrow stone ledge high above the valley floor. The ledge leads left and right. There's no way forward. Looking left, you can see that the narrow ledge is formed by the splitting of a rock that leads all the way down to the misty valley floor. If there is a path up to the other side, it is not clear from here. Looking right, you are taken aback, as out of the mist that fills the valley, an impossibly wide bridge looms into view. as if it had only fallen into place now. It's made of plank and thick ropes, and is suspended from this peak to the peak on the other side. Who could have built such a marvel, and how long ago? You take a moment more, staring at the bridge. It forms a delicate curve all across the valley, swaying very slightly in the wandering wind. But the more you look, the more it seems too perfect. Could such a bridge possibly exist? Or is it mere illusion to trick the incautious traveler? Getting on your feet once more, you take a moment to find your balance before moving on. One slip here and you will fall a long way down. Let's, I guess, go to the bridge. Why not? The bridge is worth looking at least. If it sounds like if it is sound, you will be able to tell. If not, the other route will still be waiting. As the ledge winds and weaves its way across the cliff, you reach the peak where the bridge is deeply anchored by its enormous stone foot. Besides this is a small, disheveled hut. The small little shack, it's barely large enough to house a goblin. But someone has decorated it in a weird fashion with outlines of figures, tall and short and stocky, drawn in faded shades of wood, and some in red blood-colored clouds. And from a few of these figures, actual bones protrude from the walls themselves, as if they formed part of the structure. You should have known immediately, of course. A bridge like this, out here, smells of sorcery and witchcraft. Let's check out the hut. You walk over to the hut and knock. There's no answer. Stranger still, however hard you beat your fist, your knocking seems to make no noise, as if the wood were a cup of water, and you were beating your knuckles against its surface. Oh, this is going to be bad. No matter. The hut is old and disheveled, probably empty. Setting your foot upon the bridge, you begin to make your way steadily across. I think the bridge is an illusion. You're going to die. You have only gone a few steps when you hear a voice calling behind you. Halt, stranger. Halt, stranger. You turn to see an ugly hunchback creature who has saddled Sidled. I don't know what that is. Sidled out of the hut door. If you wish to pass, 2 answers you must give Van Cass. Who's Van Cass? You reply. The creature blinks, perhaps in surprise. Then he taps himself on the chest and tries to straighten up just a little. Why? The creature nods and replies in riddling fashion. If over Van Cass's bridge you go, he must be sure you are friend, you are not foe. If friend you are and friend you be, then answer what I ask of thee. Okay, crazy person. I'll give you answers, you call back. The creature chuckles with his first question. A sister I have, witch in captivity. She lives in the woods, so first tell me, what do you know of her, friend, this cunning dame, and how she is known? Tell me, what is her name? She's like the witch of Allenland or something crazy like this. Let's try this one. The hunchback smiles. Your answer is correct and true. Now you must answer question 2. Through villages 3 you have passed. What was the first? What was the second? What was the last? Oh, great. And I can't look at my map, can I? That's terrible. Oh, I'm probably going to get this wrong and look dumb. I think it was Canapani. The hunchback nods once deeply, and you breathe a deep sigh of relief. He gestures for you to proceed along the bridge, but calls out one last verse of advice. Beware the lair of the cave demon's maze. You hover over to listen to the rest of the verse. For traps as deadly as Medusa's gaze greets travelers who, of luck befret, take passageways not to the left. Okay, don't take passageways. So I guess he's telling us not to go left. Okay. You call out a thank you, and Vancast nods once more before returning to his hut. Quickly, fearing any more traps, you hurry across the rope bridge. You are rather grateful when your foot touches the grass on the other side. You follow the path over the crest of the hill and down into the next valley. It is now late afternoon. Alright, that's a good stopping point. See you next time on Sorcery.